The moon was bright in the sky. Yet the whole street whispered a story people were too afraid to say out loud. The story of a powerful man who thought no woman could resist him. His name was Mr. Kalu, the CEO of Crown Company. In his tall glass office in Lagos, everybody knew him for one thing. He never spared any beautiful lady who worked under him. Married or single, rich or poor, once you were his staff, you were not safe. He would shower you with gifts, give you fat salaries, and even buy you cars. And if you refused him, he would make life bitter until you had no choice but to surrender. Some called him a king. Others, in secret, called him a curse. But as the elders always say, no matter how far a hunter goes into the forest, one day he will meet a spirit that cannot be killed. And that spirit came in the form of a beautiful young lady named Yuju. When Yuju first walked into Crown Company as a new employee, everybody turned to look at her. Her beauty was something rare. Her skin glowed like early morning palm oil, and her eyes sparkled like water under the sun. Men froze when she passed. Women whispered behind her back, some in jealousy, others in admiration. But Yuju carried scars on her heart that no one could see. She had once loved a man named Alu with all her strength. Alu was sweet with words but bitter with actions. He told Yuju he would marry her, ask her for money to process papers to travel abroad, and promised to send for her later. Out of love, she gave him all her savings. But Alu betrayed her. One day, she woke up to find him gone. No note, no goodbye. She later heard he had traveled to the UK with another woman. That day, Yuju's world shattered. She cried until her eyes were swollen, stopped eating, and almost fell sick. It was Mama Alaga, her elderly neighbor, who came to comfort her. Mama Alaga was not an ordinary woman. She carried wisdom and secrets from the old ways. When Yuju told her everything, Mama Alaga only shook her head slowly. Men like Alu will always exist, she said, her voice calm but heavy. But remember, the world does not fight with fists alone. There are powers beyond the eyes. Then she reached into her bag and brought out a big transparent glass bottle. Take this, she said. This bottle has a spirit inside. With it, you can summon any man who hurts you. His spirit will be trapped, and he will not know peace until he confesses. Yuju's hands trembled as she collected the bottle. She thanked Mama Alaga, but deep in her heart, she wasn't sure she would ever use it. Weeks later, inside Crown Company, Yuju's beauty became the new topic. Mr. Kalu heard about her, and his eyes lit up with desire. Another jewel in my collection, he murmured one afternoon, staring at a file. The next day, he called her into his office. Welcome to Crown Company, my dear, he said with a wide smile. His office smelled of expensive perfume, and gold decorations filled every corner. You are exactly the type of woman we like to have here, beautiful and smart. Tell me, what do you need to make your work easier? Nothing, sir, Yuju said politely, her hands folded. Don't be shy, Mr. Kalu continued, leaning forward. Do you need a car? A bigger house? Or maybe some extra cash? I can give you anything you want. Yuju frowned but kept quiet. You don't have to answer now, he said, his eyes fixed on her. But remember, in this company, loyalty to me comes with benefits. You are too beautiful to waste time working like ordinary staff. From that day, Mr. Kalu started troubling her. He sent her flowers, new phones, and even envelopes stuffed with money. But Yuju returned them all. She remembered Alu, and her heart turned cold whenever a man came too close. One afternoon, when Yuju returned another gift, Mr. Kalu's smile faded. "Do you know who I am?" he asked, his voice sharp. "Nobody says no to me. Not in this company. Not in this Lagos. If you think you can resist, you will regret it." Yuju looked at him with calm eyes and said, "Sir, I came here to work, not to sell myself. If you want me gone, sack me. But I will not be your toy." For the first time in his life, Mr. Kalu was stunned. No woman had ever spoken to him like that. His pride boiled with anger. "Very well," he said coldly. "You will learn that fire burns." That night, Yuju sat alone in her small room, shaking with fear. She knew Mr. Kalu was powerful. If he wanted, he could destroy her career. But then, her eyes fell on the glass bottle Mama Alaga had given her. Slowly, she picked it up and held it close to her chest. Mama Alaga said, "I should only use this if I meet a man who hurts me," she whispered. "Maybe this is the time." She placed the bottle on the floor, lit a candle, and began to whisper the words Mama Alaga had taught her. The room grew cold. The candle flickered, and suddenly, the bottle shook as though something unseen had entered it. At that same moment, in his mansion, Mr. Kalu clutched his stomach and groaned. "Ah, what is this?" he cried, falling to the floor. His belly began to swell like a balloon, while his arms and legs grew thin. Sweat poured down his face as he screamed for help. Doctors came, but none could explain what was happening. Medicines failed. Injections did nothing. His once proud body became a shadow of itself. The staff of Crown Company began to whisper, "Have you seen Ogre lately? His stomach looks like a drum, but his arms are like broomsticks. Maybe it's a curse. Maybe he offended the wrong person. Who knows? With all the women he has slept with, anything is possible." But deep down, Yuju knew the truth. The days passed, and Mr. Kalu grew weaker. Finally, one evening, when the pain became unbearable, he cried out, "Please, somebody help me. I will confess. I will confess everything I have done." But the spirit inside the bottle would not let him rest. His voice echoed through his mansion, and his guards ran in fear, saying it was the cry of a dying man. Only one person could release him, Yuju, and she was not ready to forgive. The story is just beginning. The bottle is still in Yuju's room, glowing faintly in the dark, while Mr. Kalu's pride slowly melts into dust. The question is, will Yuju ever set him free? Or will she watch him, suffer until he confesses all his evil deeds before the whole world? The night was long, and the cries from Mr. Kalu's mansion echoed like a drum of sorrow. His servants whispered among themselves, too afraid to say it out loud. "This sickness no be ordinary," one said, trembling. "True talk," another agreed. "Our ogre must have offended a spirit." Meanwhile, at Crown Company, workers gathered in small circles to gossip. They were shocked that the once strong and proud CEO had suddenly become a shadow of himself. "Did you see his picture online?" One staff whispered to her friend. "His belly big like calabash, but his body lean like broomstick. He be like say na juju day worry am." The friend sighed. "After all the women we ogre don't spoil, maybe one of them finally fight back." Nobody dared mention Yuju's name, but in her heart, Yuju knew she had trapped him. Yuju sat in her room, staring at the glowing glass bottle on her table. It vibrated gently, like something alive was inside. She could hear faint cries when she leaned closer. Mr. Kalu's voice begging for mercy. Her mind went back to Alu, the man who destroyed her heart. She remembered how she cried until her pillow was wet, how she almost died from hunger. That same bitterness burned inside her now. "This is justice," she whispered. Men who think women are toys must learn a lesson. But her conscience began to whisper too. What if I become like him? What if this power turns me into a monster? Still, she left the bottle on the table and blew out the candle. The next morning, Crown Company was in chaos. Mr. Kalu had called for an emergency meeting. He entered the hall slowly, supported by 2 bodyguards. The once proud CEO now looked like a shadow, his expensive suit hanging loosely on his weak body, his swollen stomach pushed against his clothes, and he could hardly stand. When the staff saw him, they gasped. Some bowed their heads in fear, others covered their mouths to hide their shock. "Listen to me," he said with a trembling voice. "I know many of you have heard stories about me. Yes, it is true. I have sinned against many women. I thought I was untouchable. I thought money could buy everything. But now I am dying, and only confession can save me." The hall was silent. Everyone's eyes widened. Mr. Kalu continued, "I destroyed marriages. I used my power to take advantage of innocent women. I thought I was wise, but I was a fool. Please, forgive me." Some of the women he had wronged began to cry. Others shook their heads, refusing to pity him. But one person was missing from the hall, Yuju. Later that day, Mr. Kalu sent his driver to bring her to his mansion. At first, she refused, but after much thought, she agreed. When Yuju entered his bedroom, the sight almost shocked her. The great CEO was lying on his bed, weak and pale, his stomach still swollen like a pot. He stretched out his hand toward her. "Yuju," he whispered, his voice faint, "I know it is you. I don't know how, but I feel your spirit holding me. Please, forgive me. Release me from this bondage." Yuju stood still, her eyes cold. "You thought I was like the others," she said softly. "You wanted to destroy me too, the same way Alu destroyed me. But you met your match." Tears rolled down Mr. Kalu's cheeks. For the first time in his life, the mighty CEO looked powerless. "Please," he begged. "I will change. I will never touch another woman again. Just give me one more chance." Yuju's heart trembled. She remembered Mama Alaga's warning. Power is sweet, but it can also destroy the one who uses it. She looked at the glass bottle in her bag. It glowed faintly, waiting for her decision. That night, Yuju returned home and went straight to Mama Alaga's house. The old woman was sitting outside, peeling oranges. "Mama," Yuju said, placing the bottle on the ground, "I did what you taught me. Now the man is begging for his life. What should I do?" Mama Alaga looked at her with calm eyes. "Child," she said, "the bottle is not for revenge. It is for justice. If the man confesses his evil and truly repents, you may set him free. But if his heart is still wicked, the spirit will continue to torment him until he destroys himself." Yuju sighed deeply. She wanted to end his suffering, but she feared he might go back to his old ways. "Follow your heart," Mama Alaga advised. "Sometimes mercy teaches a bigger lesson than punishment." The next day, Yuju went back to Mr. Kalu's mansion. She carried the bottle in her bag. When she entered, she saw him on the floor, weeping. His servants had all abandoned him. Only 2 guards remained, standing far away in fear. "Yuju," he said, crawling toward her, "help me. I have confessed to everyone. I have begged for forgiveness. I promise to change. Please, don't let me die like this." Yuju bent down slowly, placed the bottle on the floor, and whispered the release words Mama Alaga had taught her. The bottle shook violently, then cracked into pieces. A cold wind blew through the room, and Mr. Kalu screamed one last time before collapsing. For a moment, Yuju thought he had died. But then, he opened his eyes, gasping for breath. His swollen stomach began to shrink. His body returned to normal, though weaker than before. He looked at Yuju with tears in his eyes. "Thank you," he said. "You saved my soul. From today, Crown Company will change. No woman will ever suffer here again." Yuju said nothing. She simply turned and walked away. But the story did not end there. Although Mr. Kalu survived, rumors spread across Lagos. People whispered about how the great CEO fell and rose again. Some said Yuju was a witch. Others said she was an angel sent from heaven. And in the quiet of the night, when Yuju tried to sleep, she could still hear faint echoes, like the bottle was not fully broken, like the spirit still lingered, waiting to be summoned again. Perhaps her journey with the bottle was only beginning. The shadow followed Yuju and Mama Alaga into the small hut. The lamp flickered as the air grew colder, and Yuju fell to her knees, trembling. "Mama, please help me," she cried. Mama Alaga stood firm, her wrapper tied tightly around her waist. She picked up a small broom made from palm fronds and pointed it at the shadow. "Spirit," she commanded, "you were called in anger, but now you are disturbing the innocent. Speak your mission." The shadow's voice echoed like thunder. "I was summoned by greed. I was fed with pride. I was chained to this girl by her pain. Until the chain is broken, I will not leave." Yuju wept bitterly. "I only wanted justice. I did not know I was chaining myself too." Mama Alaga turned to her. "Child, justice is good, but when mixed with bitterness, it becomes poison. You cannot heal your wound by creating another wound." Yuju's heart shook. She thought about Alu, who betrayed her. She thought about Mr. Kalu, who tried to use her. All her pain, all her anger, it was the reason she had grabbed the bottle in the first place. Taking a deep breath, she looked at the shadow. "I forgive them. I release them. I release myself." At that moment, the room became silent. The shadow let out a cry and dissolved into smoke. The glass pieces in Yuju's bag turned to dust, vanishing forever. Yuju collapsed, exhausted, but alive. The next day, Crown Company continued as normal. Mr. Kalu, though weak, kept to his word. He never chased another woman again. Instead, he used his money to sponsor young girls' education and help widows. People began to say, perhaps Ogre has truly changed. As for Yuju, she became wiser. She worked hard and rose in her career, but she no longer carried hatred in her heart. She knew the bottle had shown her something deeper, power. Without mercy is dangerous. Weeks later, Mama Alaga visited Yuju one last time. "My daughter," she said gently, "you have seen what anger can do. You have also seen what forgiveness can do. Remember this always. When you carry bitterness, you invite spirits that will chain you. But when you forgive, you set yourself free." Yuju nodded, tears in her eyes. Moral lesson. No matter how much someone hurts you, revenge only creates more pain. True strength is not in trapping others but in freeing your own heart from bitterness. Power without wisdom destroys, but forgiveness brings peace. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more interesting African folktale stories. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.